My name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast, and do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
Hi, this is Anushka Arora. As always, lovely to have your company for the Sunrise Radio podcast. And this week, I have another special guest on the show. Adnan Sami, welcome to Sunrise via the internet. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing? Very good. How are you doing?
Very, very well, thank you. Adnan, tell me, how was Father's Day? I was looking at your Twitter and you posted a very lovely picture of your Father's Day brunch. How was it?
Oh, it was absolutely fabulous. I mean, I was suddenly, told that, listen, we're not going to have lunch at home. And I'm like, okay. What's up? And they said that we want to go to out for brunch, and then of course I was showered with this this fabulous best dad ever.
That's so cute. That is lovely. That is lovely. Now, Adnan, tell me, how are you? You are, of course, getting ready and set for your UK tour after how many years?
It's incredible. First of all, I'm very excited. And I just, I sometimes just can't understand how quickly time flies by. It seems like, yesterday, that I was in the UK and we had some amazing shows there.
Yeah.
And now suddenly you sort of say, was that 6 years ago?
Yeah. It's been a while. Exactly.
I mean, of course, there were 2 years which I've just decided to just put aside as they don't count because of the pandemic. But the thing is that, my God, that's a long time.
Yeah, that is.
And I just didn't. I find it very difficult to believe that it's been such a long gap. But I'm just hugely excited.
No, so are we. We are too. I'm just going to inform our listeners once again. You've got Leeds on Friday, the 11th of August. You've got London on Saturday, 12th of August, and Birmingham Sunday, 13th of August. So that is going to be quite the weekend for your UK fans. Adnan, tell us a little bit about how you're going to be making it different from what we've seen from you previously.
Well, this time I have completely done, I'm stripping down the show in the sense that it's a completely different show. I'm very excited because I'm bringing in, we're doing a complete sort of audio visual kind of a thing, and we're breaking it down into a complete theatrical experience. It's a much larger sound, and it's all integrated with graphics and so from that, on a technical note, it's a completely different show. It's exciting for me because I'm getting into a very different zone as far as the musicality and the performance is concerned. It's nothing like I've ever done before. So from that point of view, it's a big challenge, but it's very exciting because I'm revisiting my older songs, and in fact, sometimes what happens is that you sort of you start doing a different version of those songs.
Yes, yeah,
and then suddenly you say, hey, wait a second, you know what? Let's just strip it down. and let's just go back.
Yeah. You know what? That is a good idea. I quite like that because I think your songs are, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to tell you how much we appreciate your songs, and they're just, they have stuck around up until today.
Wow.
They really have.
God.
They really I was just playing Mahia, one of your songs. It's beautiful. I mean, your songs are such gems. And I feel like in today's day and age with the music industry, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it's difficult to be making these kind of songs nowadays, I feel. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree with you because I think, what has happened is that I've been saying this a little before as well. I mean, I feel that everybody's wanting to get into a safe zone, and it's not just in our part of the world, or it's happening universally in the sense that everybody, whether it's the film industry, whether it's Hollywood, or whether it is the Hindi film industry or whatever, everybody, they're wanting to go in for these very safe kind of things, because it's just they're just getting more into let's just make money and let's not experiment. Let's just do something which is absolutely a sure shot hit, which is why everybody's getting, which is why the whole Marvel thing also happened, because it was like it's safe. I mean, the comics are already a hit. It's already established. All you have to do, and of course, if it's a hit, then you do a sequel, and then you do another sequel, and then you say, "Oh my God, I've done all the sequels. Now let's do a prequel." Okay, now we've done the prequel as well, so let's just do a backstory. So it's so I think what I'll do is I'll do a sequel to Mahia, and then when I'm done with that, I'll do a prequel.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. So what is happening is that whereas in the past, they were more open to experimentation, and they don't understand that it's not all about making money. It's also about legacy. Yes.
It's also about contribution. It's also about creating something to contribute to the evolution.
Yeah.
So it's not always about the numbers. I mean, it's also about what you've contributed in the process. And so if you've contributed something positive and you got the numbers, that's great.
Yeah, that is great.
But if you're getting numbers, and then after that, the moment it is the flavor of the week is over, and then suddenly it goes into the recycle bin, then you've really not achieved anything in the long run.
No, absolutely. I completely agree.
So you just opened a can of worms. If you didn't realize that.
You know what? This is, I have to say, an ongoing discussion on my show. We discuss this all the time about the kind of music that we're getting, because obviously it's important to have that listener understanding as well as to what
Yes.
what the listeners want, what they like. And anytime we kind of feel that a song is here to stay, it's like we kind of hold on to it, because we don't get that many songs like that nowadays. But in terms of new music from you, how is that standing at the moment?
Well, it's really interesting because I've been holding back a little bit. I released something a little while ago, and we had great fun with it, and people really received it well. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm in the process of setting up my own studio.
Nice.
And I've been sort of holding on to a lot of new work that I want to start doing. And again, you see the whole thing comes back to your question, which is where you want to do things on your own terms, and not of course we do realize that it's a business, so you need to make money, from that perspective, But the point is that the idea is also to try and see if you are able to create something, a kind of some kind of a contribution, something worthwhile with some kind of substance, and hope that while you're doing something good, you're also making money.
Yeah, yeah.
And that you can only do if you have the complete control of what you're doing and without interference. And that is something which I just felt that, I would like to do with my own setup, and so I'm very excited about that. So I am going to be doing a lot of stuff in the forthcoming future.
Well, we can't wait. I really look forward to it. We look forward to having you here as well for an entire weekend of you performing here in August. Thank you so much, Adnan. And I'm pretty sure we'll hopefully like to have you in the studio when you're here as well. So please do schedule your London UK tour so that you can have some time to come into the studio and have a little live jam session with some of your fans as well. I think that'd be really nice.
I'd love to do that. In the meantime, you take care. It's lovely to see you again. It's been a long time.
Same here.
And, I'm really looking forward to, for me, the audience in England is absolutely one of the finest audiences that I love playing. For me, it's a homecoming,
Yes, yeah.
It's, because I grew up here.
Yeah.
And so, I feel genuinely that this is one of the most special audiences that I love to perform in front of, and this time more so because it's like a completely new show. So I'm very, very excited about that.
It sounds absolutely epic. Epic. London loves you. UK loves you as well. You're special to us, Adnan. Thanks so much for taking the time out, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. See you. Bye. Bye.
Listen to our Bollywood queen, Anushka Arora, from 12 noon to 4 p.m. weekdays on Sunrise.
Tuned in to the Weekend Breakfast Show with me, Ameet, Chana. Now, many of you will know that outside of Sunrise Radio, I do work in the entertainment business, extended from here. A long time, been in the game of being an actor, stage, screen, radio, whatever it is. I've been around, I've been there and done that. And along the way, you get to meet some amazingly talented people. And back in 2018, I had the good fortune of being in a show called The Village that was staged at the Theatre Royal, Stratford East. And in that show, it was a wonderful cast of a very, very important play, and in amongst that brilliant cast was the young man who I'm going to introduce, and I'm very, very proud of saying that he is the lead in a brand new ITV X comedy drama called COUNT ABDULLAH that hits your screens next week. And I have to say I have the pleasure of the lead of that show joining me on the line now. Arian Nik, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ameet, mate. How you doing? You all right?
I'm very well. It's a real pleasure to have you on the show, mate.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Just hearing about it. 2018 feels so long ago, but The Village was such fond memories of working with you, man. You were so wonderful, and it's nice to be chatting to you on your show.
Oh, well, that's very kind. But I was thinking about it, actually, leading up to this morning. I was thinking we didn't actually ever have a scene together in that show, did we?
No, we didn't. I had another part that in the first day it was cut by the director in front of everybody.
That's right.
Stopped me from being in any scene with you.
Yeah, that's right.
There's plenty more to come, man. There's
plenty more to come. And let's talk about what is to come, man. Firstly, congratulations, man. As I said in that intro, I'm so proud of you. It's really great to see you come leaps and bounds and now playing the lead, in a very, very long time coming show that is an unbelievably diverse cast in a off-the-wall, kind of offbeat horror comedy. Tell us about COUNT ABDULLAH.
Thank you, man. That's exactly it. It's off the wall. It's a wild, wild comedy, and it's filled with a cast from the global majority. And being able to go into work every single day, being surrounded by so many beautifully talented brown bodies and faces was just such a gift. And it's something, apart from The Village, is something that I've never experienced before. Yeah. Certainly on TV and film. But COUNT ABDULLAH is a story that follows a young British Muslim doctor called Abdullah, who's kind of torn between impressing his mom and the Muslim community, but also his friends who just want to party all the time. He's waiting for something to push him into seizing his life and taking the reins. And then he's bitten by a halal hunting vampire played by Jamie Winstone. And I guess that's when his journey begins to figure out what it means to be the outsider's outsider. He already feels like an outsider, but to be a Muslim vampire just adds a whole of an layer of
So hold on.
Wow,
So
that's
let's
yeah.
just unpack that. We've got a young Muslim British doctor trying to impress his mum, but also torn between partying with his friends and making something of his life. Then he gets bitten by a halal hunting vampire played by Jamie Winstone, who's brilliant, by the way. And then he suddenly finds his feet and realises that's his calling in life.
Well, I don't think he doesn't really have much of an option.
Right.
I think you'll see across the series that as much as he's trying to run away from it, he's also quite intrigued by this possibility. Abdullah loves horror. He loves Hammer horror. He was obsessed with Bela Lugosi and Christopher Lee Draculas. So
Brilliant.
For him, it's weirdly a dream come true, but he'd hate to admit it. Also, fundamentally, blood isn't halal, right?
Yeah.
So he has the biggest problem on his hands because his life source is the biggest sin.
Oh my gosh, that already sounds brilliant, man. Listen, how did you get involved? Was it the normal casting process? Were you attached from quite early on? Is this something that you've been part of developing?
No, I've not been part of developing it. I was attached about this time last year. I was just sent the scripts to read, and while it does sound quite wild, the show is also super political, and it's sort of rooted. Vampirism is used as a metaphor throughout the whole thing. So it called to me that kind of idea of it being silly and funny. It's the creators of The In-Betweeners, so it has that sort of real brilliant comedy, actually, just stuff that you can get your teeth stuck into. And then the political
No
side
pun
of it,
intended.
It's the first time I've done that. That's terrible. That was terrible. But yeah, and then the other half of it just feels really family-led and really community-led, and those things both really appealed to me. So did the audition process, I sent a tape off, thought I would never hear anything back, and then met our fantastic writer Carmel and director Arson and then the producer Phil, and a couple of meetings, and they offered me the role, and then I had the opportunity of reading with Jamie, and the rest kind of was history. We just sort of jumped on the roller coaster and shot the thing in 7 weeks, and in 5 days it's for everyone else's enjoyment.
And now I'm guessing, because the wonderful Nina Wadia is in the show with you. Is she playing your mum in the show?
Nina Wadia is playing my mum.
How was that?
The most special experience.
Yeah.
So Nina Wadia is television royalty.
Yep.
And for my parents anyway, part of like their cognitive and core memories of watching and seeing themselves represented on screen when they first came to this country. So for her to play my mum was kind of a big deal for me, but even more so a big deal for them. We watched the last couple of episodes together here in the house last night. And yeah, my mum's giddy that Nina's playing my mum. And she's hilarious in it. She's so brilliant, and she has so much heart in the show. Bushra's character, she's also conflicted, and she goes on a really wonderful journey as well. So I'm excited for everyone to see what she's done with it.
It all sounds brilliant, and I said to you off air, it's a long time coming for a show like this to hit our screens. You mentioned Nina Wadia being TV royalty. I mean, goodness gracious me, was well over 20 years. And we haven't really seen, obviously you've done some TV, you're in the Bay. We've both, between us, done some sort of great work on TV and on film and stage as well. But a show like this has been a long time coming. What does it mean, Arian?
Like, it means so much. Like, you've been part of some of the most amazing sort of era-defying Asian-led shows and films. So, like, to be able to join that caliber and that canon of films that we have so few of feels so important. Like, to see Muslim bodies, Muslim faces, occupy stories that aren't negative, that aren't detrimental to our community, and actually that are fun. Like, why can't Muslims be vampires? Why can't Muslims be wizards, witches, werewolves? Like, we all bleed the same, and it's just so exciting that we get to break some of those boundaries and push and go further, I guess, with the stories that we're telling and the representation that we see, so that other people can see us differently. Otherwise, we just get stuck in this same quite toxic loop of stories about the brown community, Middle Eastern, Asian, South Asian community, and we need stories like Count Abdullah, like Bend It Like Beckham, like The Village that kind of make everyone rethink and reframe their thinking.
No, it's very true. Very, very, very wise words. And also another blood joke in the middle of that. So well done. Congratulations.
We all believe it. Mate, if I get free, you have to take me out for a drink.
I will. I do. Definitely. All right, listen. So this is starting on ITV X, and then there is hope for it to cross over onto the kind of terrestrial ITV as well. What are the hopes and dreams of that? Do we think that's going to happen? Because a lot of stuff like this does get made, and it sort of ends up staying on the kind of streaming service of it, and it's important for it to cross over onto terrestrial TV. What are the hopes for that?
The hopes are high for that. We really, really want that to happen. It kind of relies on a lot of people tuning in and watching it. We've been promised the TX and promised that it will get its outing on television as well, but we just hope that it calls to the community and beyond, and that people stream it. So ITV are like, whoa, look what happens when you make a brown show. Let's make more of them. Do you know what I mean?
And that is exactly why I wanted to get you on the show as well, man, because we, of course, are a radio station that is the heart of the South Asian community across the country here on Sunrise. And it's so important that all of us, everyone listening to this right now, goes out and watches this on ITV X. Tell us when it starts transmitting, Arian.
June the 15th, so it starts next Thursday. You can binge the whole series at once. They're 20-25 minutes an episode. You can do it in one sitting. Just if you're a bit squeamish, maybe don't have any dinner around, because there's quite a lot of food.
And what's next for you, my friend? Is there a season 2 in the pipeline?
Yeah, let's hope. See, we're hoping for a season 2. Our writers sort of grasping away at creating a second series that we can hopefully shoot at the end of the year. But I'm shooting another ITV show at the moment, which is a comedy drama set in a northern town where nothing ever goes wrong and everything starts then going really wrong. It's like Fargo meets Stranger Things.
Oh, that sounds amazing as well.
Very much staying in the horror realms for now.
Mate, listen, all well deserved. Truly, when I met you in 2018, I knew you had great things ahead of you, and you are proving that, and that I feel very, very proud of. Good luck with everything next week. I will be for sure binging on this from June 15th as well. Count Abdullah starts on ITVX June 15th. Arian, what a pleasure to have you, mate. All the very best, my friend.
Such a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Take care, you too. All the best.
And for a slightly different flavour, catch Ameet Chana between 7am and 10am on Breakfast at weekends.